Kwe migmagi, ni indeli si shili yang akleo e sistawani guna magi.
Indeli si Joseph G. Sock, Larry also booked the First Nation first.
Ido ginawadnik what today make it. We're on day 7 of our fast to protest against the Made Nova Scotia process and Made New Brunswick process. We're here to tell you why our treaties are so important. Treaties are nation-to-nation agreements that protect our environment. They're promises to share the lands and to enjoy mutual prosperity, yet our communities have not prospered at all. Our ancestors were forward thinkers. They assured our future generations that our health and education were an integral part of the treaties. But we see these basic promises dwindling away every year. We know that the government wants to terminate these treaties and to disregard First Nations altogether. The Harper government has pushed C-45 through illegally. They failed in their duty to consult thoroughly with our leaders regarding issues that directly impact our treaty rights. Now our leaders have failed to consult with our own people. Right now our leaders are negotiating a modernization of our treaties, which will mean giving up our title of the lands, that will extinguish the treaties our ancestors fought and died for. We know that the United Nations have deemed these consultation processes, also known as framework agreements and comprehensive land claims policies, as racist. We also understand that the Treaty Commissioner of the British Columbia Treaty Commission has declared that these agreements do not work to benefit First Nations people right across Canada. The Canadian government and the provincial government have been meeting with our chiefs and their lawyers, KMKNO in Nova Scotia and the Assembly of First Nation Chiefs of New Brunswick, to convince our chiefs that self-government and framework agreements are a good thing for our communities. They promise economic opportunity when we know that the government never upholds their promises to us. They're negotiating away our existing treaties when it's these very treaties and titles to our lands that have guaranteed the government's fiduciary responsibility to us. And this is how we've taken on the federal government and Supreme Court and have won over 150 times consecutively. This is the power that the self-government and framework agreements will take away from us. The Made Nova Scotia process doesn't focus on treaty implementation, as Willamog Gliswaran declares. Their focus is on building economic opportunities, which is similar to the promise of C-45, where the government disregarded our treaties altogether and by titling the tabled bill Jobs and Growth. Our treaties guaranteed the right to tax exemption on our lands. These framework agreements jeopardize these rights by opening up own source revenue, which will come from taxing our own people. You and I will have to pay tax on our lands. How many people will go homeless because of this? The Canadian government has supplied over $90 million to these framework negotiations. Plenty of money has been poured into the salaries and livelihoods of the people who are actually negotiating our rights away over the last 14 years. How many people have actually benefited from the money our leaders have gained from years of ongoing negotiations? Our leaders in Mi'kmaq are not working with one another. We have the Made Nova Scotia process, Made New Brunswick process, and a Quebec process in place. Our treaties were meant for all of Mi'kmaq. Why negotiate different agreements when at the end of the process, every province will end up with different rights? Who gives our chiefs the authority to divide our nation? Our silence is our approval. We have to stand up and say no. We have not found consensus. We cannot agree to a framework agreement without properly consulting each Mi'kmaq community. This is not our way. Since KMK has been formed, fishing rights have been thrown overboard. Rightful title to the land has not been returned, and our hunting rights have been restricted. Much of the dialogue with the government has been a waste of time, since no additional resources or changes have come from it. The bands still have capped funding, and no natural resources have been negotiated. KMK and our chiefs have not consulted with the communities properly, and we are in the worst financial position ever. A few information sessions where a handful of people show up is not deemed proper consultation. We believe that we all have to do something, and we all have a part. We're here fasting because we protest these agreements. We know that they're bad for our people. We know that Sorry. We know that all of us have to stand up for our children and our future generations. And there's something you can do about it. Go see your chief. Go see your counselor. Tell them you say no to signing away our treaties. I don't feel they understand what's going on here. You can do something about it. Rally up your people. Go to the band office. Go protest. You have a voice and it's powerful. Don't let anybody tell you your voice is not powerful and that it doesn't count. You could write your leaders. You can write letters. You could come down to the Porcupine Lodge here in Millbrook and support us, because we're on day 7 and we don't plan to stop until our leaders step out of these agreements. Gene, do you want to say something?
Yes. Yeah. We need firekeepers here that to help out, and we still need more people that would be able to come over and help out. We have all kinds of places that you can sleep here. You can stay here with us at the time until it's over.
We have to think of our nation first and be idle no more. Walaliek.